Hi, it's Joey, and today we're watching The Bad Batch, Season 1, Episode 15, Return to Kamino, which is the penultimate episode, and yeah, this feels like it's going to be a two-part finale. I have watched 2 episodes on the same day, so that is good for me, but I'm also very stressed. Thank you so much to everyone that has watched these reactions. Because I got to this show so late, Season 2 is already out, as you know, so I'm just going to be rolling straight into Season 2, but we still have 2 episodes of Season 1 left. Reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and let's go! We're gonna save you, Hunter. I don't know how right now, but we are. They're planning to use him as bait.
Where are we going? They'll know it's a trap. They'll still come for you.
Exactly, they love you so much that knowing it's a trap, they'd come for you, just like knowing it's a trap, you'd come for them. It's the part that Crosshair's lost, that I presume he previously had.
Oh, this is taking too long.
Omega, focus.
I can't. Let's go get Hunter.
My loves.
Where are the rest of them?
They'll be here. We'll intercept them.
They will, that's the truth.
I question the clone's motives with his old squad. I don't trust any of them.
If his plan fails, none of them will be a problem any longer. Keep an eye on things.
Yes, Admiral.
Yep, there's loyalty for you.
Activating Hunter's comm was intentional.
The
The Empire wants us to come to Kamino. I'm uncertain as to why.
No turning back now.
To catch you and kill you.
These coordinates.
Bless this group.
Never doubted your first.
We're just boldly charging straight in there. No planning in advance. I don't know how they could plan in advance, but...
You, alright?
Doesn't
No.
matter. Saving Hunter is what matters.
She didn't ever want to come back here, and she's so worried about Hunter.
You don't seem too concerned.
He's
Why would
not
I be?
in control of
Because
himself.
the Empire will be...
You know there's a chip in his head. That's what I'd be saying to him. I'd be like, oh, it's too bad you've lost your free will and your personality. So again, there's a chip in his head, it wouldn't matter.
They'll come to us. They don't leave their own behind. Most of the time.
You
Fuck.
tried to kill us. We didn't have a choice.
And I did.
Oof. I mean, oof. And I did. If you know you didn't have a choice, like, is there a part of him that's conscious that it's not, like, please don't tell me that there's a part of the clones under the control of the mind chip that is, like, aware that they're having their personalities altered and they're, like, free will taken, because that's horrific. More so than them just having it done to them. I suppose as well, they kind of did just lead into it because they didn't come up, it's not like at any point they've been trying, since they found out about the chips and how to remove them, they haven't tried to hatch any plans that I'm aware of to find Crosshair, kidnap him, and take him to a ship, remove the chip. They've just been like, oh, well, you know, Crosshair's bad now. That really makes me sad, but we've got to protect Omega. And I get that prioritizing Omega, and given the situation she's in, I relate to that and I understand that and I support that. But it is kind of true that when they found out that what was causing Crosshair to betray them and how they might fix it, they didn't do anything about that. And sure, admittedly, like, the facility they use to remove their chips isn't one they can return to, but they haven't really ever mentioned that they're looking for a solution. I'm sure that they want to find one.
Your mutations were enhanced in this room. Experimental Unit 99 began right here. I was there.
Wow.
Please be our baby droid.
Not shoot. I am AZ-3452111.
I see.
Omega, I am relieved it is you.
Yeah.
Doing
Can't you see they're using you?
No, he literally
That
can't.
inhibited chip in your head. It's making you follow.
We have an unauthorized entry.
Is there any chance that someone like Crosshair, who is different from the other clones, finding out about the chip, would be able to fight its effects? Just running headlong, setting off alarms without any attempt to not set them off. I mean, I suppose they know the facility well enough to know that they couldn't sneak.
Hunter's on the move. This way.
They're expecting you.
Crosshair's waiting. He'll pick us off.
Oh,
he's waiting.
Precisely why we will not be going in through the main entrance like he'd
Which he-
expect.
No, he knows you. He'd be expecting you to not.
Omega, wait here.
No, we should stick together.
No Echo's right. Crosshair's after us, not you.
I mean, I do
Stay
agree
out
with both of them. Like, I think in how dangerous his place is, Omega should be staying out of the direct line of the fight. Yes, she has a weapon, but she's not trained, she's a child. But at the same time, if she's here on her own and people come, that's not good either.
Well, guess you're wrong about that.
Of course, Crosshair knows you.
Together.
We should flee to the research lab.
No, something went wrong.
Omega, I love you and I trust you and I believe in you.
Be in danger.
Focus, AZ.
Brave girl.
You betrayed everything we stood for.
You did that.
And for what?
We're loyal to each other, not some empire.
You weren't loyal to me.
They had no choice.
I was, and it's why I'm going to give you what you never gave me. A chance.
Fuck. Is Crosshair a little bit immune to the chip? Because I'm sure that no one higher up has told him to give them a chance. But at the same time, he literally tried to kill us last time we saw him. So, like, every time we've seen him since, it's not like they had a chance. I do think that maybe they should have, once they had their sort of operation with Sid set up and they paid off the debt and they were just kind of, you know, going on mercenary jobs for her and just things were okay, fairly settled in terms of the Omega safety concern, they should have been considering, is there any way we can get Crosshair, extract him, keep him sedated, get the chip out of his head? And I don't think it would have been a mission that they would have planned in like a day and gone and done. I think it would have been a mission that would take a lot of planning, but maybe they did kind of abandon him a little bit by giving up.
Freeze.
Please say this is part of her plan. Jesus Christ. I mean, I didn't like that squad, so good riddance.
Does that answer your question?
Not really. Not fully.
I said move.
Good.
You all are meant for more than drifting through the galaxy. It's time to stop running.
It seems like this is so interesting because he's still loyal to the Empire. I mean, he did just shoot some of the soldiers. But I almost get the impression here, and maybe he's about to say something that's going to mean this entire speech is entirely wrong, but it almost feels like he is still loyal to the Empire and the chip is telling him to do, but his loyalty to his brothers and his love for them hasn't been replaced because they can't do that. So it's kind of all twisting together.
Join the Empire.
And it's making him not comply fully.
Again. Don't become my enemy.
Fuck.
Crosshair. We never were.
Exactly. Look, if we're going to escape, could we knock him out and bring him with us? Is that a possibility? Because then that's step one of the Save Crosshair plan.
Hey, why'd you activate the droids?
This was not my doing.
It was Omega, bless her. Saving you. Are they planning to destroy Kamino? Because, I mean, if they've left Crosshair and there's no Empire to fight to get to him, maybe we can save him and get the chip out of his head. Is he fighting past the chip? They don't want to hurt you or be your enemy.
Forget the Empire. This isn't you.
I had my chip removed.
What?
A long time ago.
What?
Does it matter?
Yes.
This is who I am.
Is that fucking true? When did the chip get removed? At what point? It has to have been after the first episode of this show because he was saying good soldiers follow orders. And surely a member of the, you know, Order Clone Squad 99 isn't going to walk around saying that. If this is who you really are, it explains why he is kind of giving them the second chance and able to resist the chip because he doesn't have it anymore. But when, it is really important to me at what point the chip was removed. The point when you were trying to shoot a child or the point since then? Jesus Christ. Oh.
Sorry, Omega. I know I promised you'd never have to come back here.
Well, she's never going to have to come back here again.
Grab Crosshair.
Yeah.
He's coming with us.
Yeah. It's complicated. But if he doesn't have the chip, maybe we can get through to him. Because if he had the chip removed while he was with the Empire, then maybe he doesn't understand, or he has lost his way because they never came back for him and he is upset about that. The history of all the clones that came through here. I mean, this was an evil place, so...
Open fire.
What a way to, you know, repay the Kaminoans for all they gave you. Jesus Christ. Sweetheart inside. Thank you, Izzy. I mean, thankfully their ship isn't at the main facility, so if we can just get there, we'll be able to escape. Okay, so the biggest twist in this episode, one that makes 80% of my thoughts throughout it irrelevant, but it's fine, is the fact that Crosshair had his chip removed. And I need to know when this chip was removed, because it can't have been removed when they were activated, when Order 66 got activated, and I swear he said good soldiers follow orders. Did he not say that in the pilot? Like, if he genuinely never said that, please do tell me, because in my head he did, but it could have just been because he was so blindly following orders and turning against his brothers that I assumed that. Because he's just willfully joining the Empire. Now, is it when his scar? Is that a thing? Can you like go back and track when he appeared with the scar? Did he? I guess he did it without the Empire's knowledge, or he had it done before the Empire even came into being. But no, because the Empire's, no, they looked at the chip, didn't they? They turned it up more, didn't they? That was a thing, wasn't it? Am I totally losing my mind? Where, like, way back when in like the first episodes, they activated his chip even more? So what is going on with this chip? Is that true? Who took it out? When was it taken out? I need to know. I am assuming they're gonna ask him. The fact that they brought him with them means that at some point, even if it's season 2, I feel like they're gonna be asking those questions. And it definitely makes his behavior in this episode make a lot more sense. From appearing genuinely hurt to Hunter, like, you know, that they betrayed him, they left him, you know, they never leave anyone behind. Apart from one time they left me, like all of that kind of stuff. It was out of character for the kind of mindless yes sir, no sir that the chip turns them into. Also giving them a chance to join the Empire, those weren't his instructions. Maybe way back at the very beginning they could have been, but they wanted him to just destroy the clones. They're not fussed about clones anymore. They think probably once they had Clone 99 Force done, even Crosshair was going to go, because the Empire doesn't want any potential loose cannons or anything going around. But he genuinely was hurt that his brothers had abandoned him. And, you know, I was saying throughout that they didn't really have a choice. At the very beginning, he was shooting at them. They were just trying to protect Omega. They didn't want to follow the Empire's orders and hurt innocent people. And if Crosshair couldn't understand that, then Crosshair isn't a person worth knowing. Now, again, the question is, at what point did he have the chip removed? And then you have to think that, assuming the chip was removed post Order 66, which is what I'm assuming, he would have had it removed in a place where his brothers never came for him. They never tried to get him back. They cared about this little kid they just met, but they didn't care about him. And they were sort of slumming it around the galaxy, barely surviving, whereas he was seeing this Empire that was giving him command and all these, like, giving him resources and power and prestige, and kind of feeling like, I don't know. I'm very intrigued by Crosshair right now. Like, I think he was I genuinely don't remember, like, if you remember my Clone Wars reactions, which I doubt anyone does, I feel like he was the one I liked the least, but I think that's probably because his name is Crosshair and he's a marksman, and in the real world I'm like, guns are bad. So I don't know whether, I can't remember whether in the Clone Wars he did and said things that made me be like, I don't like him, or whether it is literally just my brain was like, me no like guns, gunman bad. But I'm very intrigued by him and by this revelation that he already had the chip removed. So when he's appealing to them to join the Empire, you know, I was wondering, I was amazed and marveling and feeling hopeful that he was fighting through the chip in how he clearly cared about his brothers, but the chip is gone and he still wanted them to join the Empire despite knowing the atrocities the Empire is committing. He still was like, hey, we should join the Empire. Which I don't know what we're going to do with Crosshair, because obviously he won't be rejoining the Empire because the Empire have just tried to kill him. Even he surely is not going to be like, knock knock knock, Empire, hi, I'm back, I survived your murder attempt. I imagine he'll be feeling particularly lost because his brothers, he kind of, things are awkward between them regardless, but they have saved his life, but they also didn't come back for him, and he was pro-Empire, they are very against the Empire. It's just so interesting to see where his character could go next. I also just love this little family. Omega, the way she didn't even once complain about going back to Kamino. Like, we saw her being visibly sad and emotionally affected by being back in this place, but she didn't complain about it. She didn't say, Hunter, you promised I'd never come back here. She was pretty like, yeah, you know, you do it for me. And he apologized because of course he did, because he loves her. He's like, fuck, I promised this kid she would never be back here, and now because of me she is back here. But even she was like, yeah, it's not because of you, it's fine. I just, the way we saw that, and that her sort of special relationship with Nala Say, or whatever her name is, meant that she had this more knowledge. It's just so interesting. And then to see the clone facility destroyed at the end, it is a huge chunk of history, a huge legacy of the Clone Wars, obviously the Empire taking over and the Republic dying, going away. Now, I think it's a very evil place where, you know, I will never be sad that the clones existed and got to live and love and feel things, but I will forever be furious that anybody was given life for the pure purpose of dying in someone else's war, given no choice in the matter whatsoever, just being trained as a soldier, having an accelerated childhood, boom, you're a soldier, go fight. That will never sit right with me. And, you know, yes, I can kind of understand the logic of that's surely better than using civilians and citizens, but just no, it is wrong. So I think the Republic, that was one of its many signs that it was dying. I can remember the first time I watched the Clone Wars, Attack of the Clones, being completely like baffled by the fact that when the Republic found out about the clones, they were like, oh cool, we'll use those. I can remember being like, I thought the bad guys were going to have the clones. Why are we having the clones? So I'm not sad that the place is gone, but it is kind of like a piece of history is going. I almost feel like it should have been kept as like a memorial to all the clones that had died. But it was huge to see it be destroyed, and I'm trying to work out how they've obviously got to find a way to get into the tube system to get back to where their ship is. I'm assuming because the shooting and everything was so focused on the main facility that they wouldn't have noticed where they parked their ship, so we can still get to our ship, our little home, and escape, but it's going to be a tense episode. It's a very, very good episode. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and thank you so much for watching.